Hi, my name is Alejandra Sofia. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm tuning in to the full moon in Aries on October 20th, 2021. But first, before I dive in, please subscribe to my channel. You can click on my logo icon here in the corner if you'd like to receive a notification whenever I upload a video. And I'll be uploading at least once a week and up to 8 times a month, and that includes new moon and full moon videos. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Alejandra_Sofia, and where I post daily astrological stories for soul empowerment and soul guidance. And let's dive into the Aries full moon. Okay, so the Aries full moon culminates at 7:57 a.m. Pacific time and 10:57 a.m. Eastern time, and please adjust for your location on the planet. So every full moon, to presence the full moon, every full moon initiates from the lunar seed wave cycle, which is the new moon. So this full moon is being fueled by the energy and the power of the new moon on October 6th. And it's a really powerful new moon in this lunar wave seed cycle. I call that 29-day cycle that initiates at the new moon, a lunar wave seed cycle. So the October 6th new moon, and you can tune into my previous video on the Libra new moon, is conjunct Mars. It's exactly conjunct Mars. So we have the sun and the moon and Mars conjunct at the same degree of 14 Libra. I round up the degree in minutes. So I round up to 14 Libra, and anytime I mention a degree, I'm rounding up, which includes the minutes. Most astrologers would be saying 13 Libra, and I round up because I work with degree frequencies and star sparks, and you can check that out through my teacher ARiES Lonsdale, who published a book called Star Sparks. And I also work with degree frequencies. Degree frequencies are 30-degree frequencies, and each frequency streams 12 different ways. And those streams are the life streams. They are the signs known as the zodiac. And so the frequencies are the most powerful layer of astrology, and it's a relatively new offering insight into the astrological universe on planet Earth in these days. And you can also, that was brought through by ARiES Lonsdale, and you can check out his work at stargenesiswisdom.com. And so that 14-degree frequency of Libra, the 14-degree frequency is about getting to the stuff that's clogging self-freedom. And so with Mars conjunct the sun and moon, it's a powerful month that is speaking to much shifts and changes, and it is strongly accented by the 4 planets that are stationing direct in the month of October. And that includes a Mercury retrograde and includes Pluto, which stationed direct on the new moon a few hours after the new moon, and then Saturn stationing direct on October 10th, and then we have Jupiter stationing direct on the 17th of October, and in some parts of the world on the 18th, and then Mercury stationing direct on October 18th, just 2 days before the full moon. So we're really in some huge shifts. So I'm offering up soul guidance for this time. Another thing, this is really important about this full moon in October, is that it is the first full moon at the 28-degree frequency for the next 6 months, except for the February full moon. So that means the October, November, December, January, all at the 28-degree frequency. And then in February, it's at 29. And then again in March, the final 28-degree frequency. And this is really important because Pluto, which is always the deepest theme of what's happening in any given moment, Pluto is advancing to its later degrees in Capricorn in 2022. On February 1st or 2nd, I believe, Pluto advances to the furthest it's been in Capricorn since the late 1800s. And that's actually really like 1776, 1777. That was the last time Pluto was at 28 degrees Capricorn. It's a very powerful degree. And so we're really working with spirit frequencies whenever we cross into, at any point in the zodiac, the 25, the 26, the 27, the 28, the 29, and the 30 are spirit frequencies. And so this is an issue of spirit and of spirit over matter, and what is the matter that we're really dealing with. And on a personal level, this is about it's a frequency of meeting your incarnation full on. It's a frequency that really speaks to that. The truth is that without spirit, we are nothing. Spirit gives us the juice. Spirit gives us our life force. And for you to really dedicate yourself to your soul and your soul work and what it means to be you. And this can be a really arduous frequency in that you can't shortcut lessons. This is about really dealing with your incarnation full on with, meeting maybe the blind spots that have been holding you back, and really taking up the wholeness and the fullness of who you are and what it means to be you. And so with this first full moon here coming up on October 20th, 2021, which from my point of today is the 12th. So we've got, 8 days between now and then, it being a full moon in Aries, and the significance of that inside of this October Libra new moon energy. There's a shift, the need to make important shifts in your life, in the personal life, and the communication because of this Mercury retrograde that we're inside of, and the energy for the full moon chart. There's a fresh release with Mercury. Mercury's still at the degree that it's stationed direct at 11 degrees Libra. And so there's this feeling of like clarity, the reflection, the rerouting, shifting routines maybe. But the importance here is to receive, because of the square, the Mercury Libra stationed retrograde on September 26th in a really tight square to Pluto. And so that's potentially a lot of transformation, a lot of maybe healing some wounds, seeing something that's been in your blind spot coming up for healing. So something coming out from that's been hidden to be seen and felt and transformed, because it's really about the gaining of your life force, the gaining of your power, and you being in alignment with who you are, you being in alignment with your gifts and your talents and your voice. And so the full moon in Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's also ruled by Mercury. I work with 2 astrological systems. I work with traditional astrology, and then I work with Star Genesis, which is, you can check that out through stargenesiswisdom.com. And Elias Lonsdale brought this deep inside, he calls it the new astrology, through in the early 90s. And you can also check out his book, Star Vision, and he's written several books. And you can also check out Mark Borax and his website, soullevelastrology.com, to learn more about this, the Soul Level Astrology Star Genesis astrological lens that I work with. And so we've got Mars conjunct the sun in the full moon, and that means it's opposite the moon. And so there's this dueling energy. The polarity of Libra and Aries they're the most relational signs. They're the most relational life streams. So I call signs life streams, because that really brings in the energy of what the signs are. They're life streams that are pouring in from the ethers into the earth. They're pouring in from the spiritual dimensions into 3D through physical reality, and streaming through our own personal, unique human blueprint. And so this Mars conjunct the Libra sun by 4 degrees and 6 minutes in an opposition to the moon in Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars, is it's really about breaking through, because Mars on a soul level is about, it's the champion of your own self overcoming. It's transformational, it's evolutionary. It turns you inward towards yourself to really deal with any ways that you're holding back in fear, or you're holding back in comfort zones, which really can be cloaked in fear and just, you know, routines, old routines of being in your personality and being in your body and being who you are. And so stepping out of comfort zones, and especially in this relational polarity, it's this comfort zone of your relationships and the world at large. With this triple stellium of, we've got Mercury and Mars and the Sun in Libra in an aspect to the Moon, and the sharpest energy here is the Mars because of the conjunction to the Sun. So it speaks to, and then the trine that it's making to Jupiter in Aquarius, which will also have been, it's freshly direct at 23 Aquarius, and that's a really sharp trine. So it's speaking to, you know, really the potential, like the Libra and Aquarius, they really are about justice. And Aquarius is a much bigger, it's the wider circle of humanity, you know, what's happening beyond you and your personal relationships, what's happening in society at large. And so it feels like this is a real time for stepping into, because of this Mars aspect, of really stepping into yourself and stepping up. It's about getting more involved and potentially, and you know, and ideally on a deeper soul level, it's about getting involved in a way that is opening your heart and, you know, listening, because we've got the North Node in Gemini here. So then we have a grand trine energy with Saturn in early Aquarius at 7 Aquarius, Mercury making a wide trine to the North Node, and a wide trine to Saturn, really speaks to, you know, wanting to collectively get involved, to be involved with, you know, creating peace and wholeness, and you know, we're in a time of making really big shifts on planet Earth. There's a lot of looking back on the past, and there's a lot of pain from the past and trauma from the past. And so this need to learn to listen to ourselves and deal with our own trauma, and the challenge it is to be who we are, because we all have our own personal, unique challenges. And so this potential for making peace with yourself, sort of like this soul reckoning with who I am, and an acceptance of who you are, that is also able to hold you're able to hold yourself in where, you know, you one way you might want to look at it is like, it's just weaknesses, like, or blind spots, or places that are sort of gray areas, or so have been totally in the dark, to really tend to yourself, to tend to your heart and soul. And on a soul level, it's, you know, if you've made a dedication to your soul, to, if you've made a prenatal resolve, if you made a prenatal resolve, and that means before you were born, that in this lifetime, in this incarnation, I am dedicated to my soul, and that no matter what, I am going to go through what I have to go through. And you know, in that space, it's actually hard to sense into, of course, because we're now in the thick of it, right? We are in the thick of the root, of the earth root, of the human dilemma. You're in the thick of your incarnation. So this is what this is about. I'm getting chills right now saying this, because of course I'm also my own audience. I never know exactly how I'm going to say things. And so I feel that how that resonates for me, of just being in the thick of your dilemma. And saying yes to it, like, okay, these are my challenges, these are my weaknesses, this is where, and not in a sense where you're looking down on yourself in criticism, you know, this is about viewing yourself with wholeness and understanding. Now that's the best medicine. That's the best medicine, of understanding yourself and really, you know, looking at yourself and at life with new perspectives, and new perspectives that are healing. So, and that speaks to the North Node in Gemini. So that's ruled by Mercury. And then this Mercury retrograde that has been, because of that square to Pluto, and that's the key aspect of this Mercury retrograde. It's making 3 squares to Pluto. There's potentially a shift in perspective that is healing, that is going to allow you to love yourself, love others, just be more in acceptance, just be more softer, gentler, kinder, because we need more compassion. We need more compassion. We need more appreciation. We need more kindness in this culture, especially when we're living with so much difference, because there is difference. And so it is important to make distinctions that are healthy. And this is where there's an identity, there's a real meeting of your personal identity, of like who, you know, all the circles, the concentric circles you belong to, and all the ways in which you are, your personality, your brain is dealing with identities. So for example, the identity of, you know, being female or male, and maybe you identify with non-binary, but you're in a female body or a male body. And so it's really specific to you. So you identify with female, and you're Black or you're Latino or you're white. There's two different identifications, right? So there's the female and then the ethnicity, or the country you were born to, or you know, the family you were born. There's all these concentric circles of belonging that you specifically belong to that are unique. And then there's the big belonging. You belong to the universe. You belong to humanity. And so it's making those clear distinctions in a way that's healthy and is healing in healing differences. And also is giving you an opening, a chamber of your heart to listen more deeply to other people's stories. Listen to people's stories. Share your story. We are all unique. And I know at this point it sounds so cliche and oversaid, but I think it really needs to be said over and over and over again, because I think especially when we have unhealed Libra issues, we're entangled and we lose ourselves. So the Libra Aries polarity with Mars conjunct Libra, this is about cutting cords that have been unhealthy for you, unhealthy cords of identification. So yes, your personality absolutely may have been identified with your trauma and something that you got confused about long, long time ago. And I'm talking about your early childhood. And so Pluto, this is super important. Pluto rules the 4 years of your life. That's one of the ways you can go back into yourself and to heal some unhealed trauma, and maybe do some, you know, some exploration about the times you were born with, because we really get so impacted so easily as children. You know, really from 0 to 12 years old. I really look at 0 to 12 years old as childhood, but the most impressionable times of our life is from 0 to 7 years old. And especially, you know, listening to Gabor Mate, and you can check him out if you've never heard of him before. He says, you know, our personality really forms at 3 years old. And so any ways that we were tended to or not tended to as in that age, we were so entirely nurture dependent. We were completely dependent on our caretakers, that's a really important time where if our parents just missed it and didn't fulfill our needs, that we start to disconnect from ourselves. And so we begin to form personality. We begin to form an identification around our trauma. And trauma, he defines it as disconnection from self. So this is an important time of reconnecting with yourself, and this bridge of these full moons, which also includes the new moons from October until March 2022, October 2021 to March 2022, we are in a turning point. We are in a turning point, and we need people who want to wake up to the fullness of who they are and really revel in your own individuality in a way that includes reveling and appreciating other people's individuality and stepping into participating. This is also an important thing about this full moon, is that I feel like if there's any kind of walls between you and the collective, you know, if you've got any blocks with that, any negativity around that separates you too much from the collective, this is about a healing between you and the collective because of the trine the conjunction between Sun and Mars. Mars is at 24 degrees Libra. Sun is at 28 degrees Libra, in an opposition to the full moon. And the full moon's all about me. This is me. And it's fiery, ruled by Mars, in a really strong aspect to Jupiter. And so this is about, you know, really sort of embracing yourself within the greater hoop. Like, I am an individual and I want to participate with social justice, environmental justice, whatever kind of, because these are the two justice signs of the zodiac, Libra and Aquarius. And so, and how do you bring in, you know, how do you restore justice? It's restoring your heart. So the justice, your own divine justice, the work you do on yourself, your soul work, to clear the channels of anything that is in between your heart and soul, and you fully embracing who you are, and you fully appreciating who you are. You need your own attention. This is super important. You need your own attention, and because you also need to tap into your intention, the deep intention of your soul. That communication between you and yourself is so vital. It is so, so, so vital. It's precious, and you need yourself. And as you make peace with yourself, you make wholeness with yourself. As you make peace of, you know, your wounding, or, you know, maybe how you've hurt other people. Like, it goes both ways. If you've been hurt and you've been living that way, you've likely hurt other people. So it's just making peace in the way that you feel you need to make peace and restore the wholeness in your own heart. And forgiveness. Forgiveness is just a step towards healing. It's not the deepest layer, but yeah, it's part of the process. And part of the process of restoring yourself, and that allows you to move into new directions, potentially new collaboration, stepping more into involvement with the world and sharing your gifts and your talents. And with this moon I know I've been presencing the Libra side of things, but with the moon in Aries, this is really about stepping through and overcoming the ways in which you've been blocking yourself, and really being your own, you know, your own superhero. That's that right there. Be your own superhero. Have your victories that you need. Your personal victories, however small, are so important. Every little kink that you know, everything that you're working on is and every step that you take in a way that is stepping into your health and your wellness, and you know, healing trauma, and allowing yourself, like, what's the point of healing trauma? So you can be free, so you can allow the universe to stream through you and the energy, your life force. So here's another aspect of this full moon chart. It is in Mercury, freshly direct on October 18th, is exactly opposite Chiron in Aries, and they're opposite by 1 degree. Chiron, there's a key there. Chiron's in Aries, and so there's a key of an unlocking, a new awareness of for yourself that's unlocking an energy that's been blocked, and you're giving yourself the go-ahead. You're giving yourself the permission. And I really, really believe that although relationships absolutely can be just as healing as your own relationship with yourself, this essential communication that you're having with yourself, or maybe it is about forgiving other people in your environment, but that whenever you unlock something in yourself, it's opening up a pathway of giving and receiving between other people and you. Because Libra is ruled by Venus, and it's an air sign. And so it's your channel of giving and receiving. And so this potentially, with the moon at 28 Aries, is clearing an obstruction. It's really powerful. And so the 28 frequency, again, I want to presence this bridge that we're crossing from October 2021 until March 2022 is also being activated by as I mentioned, the Pluto degree too. Pluto's advancing into 28 Capricorn. And so this main issue, this main theme that's going on is that the truth without your spirit, the truth of that without your spirit, you are nothing. You're just an ego, and it's reactionary. And so it's about diving deeper. Pluto is calling you to dive deeper, and Pluto is it's at 25 degrees Capricorn in a square, T-square, to the moon and to the sun. And that's really powerful. So also in this full moon chart, also Pluto in Capricorn is squaring off with Mars. That's conjunct the sun in Libra and opposing the moon. This is a really potentially transformative time. It is it's about emotionally maturing, accepting your work, accepting your challenges, leaning into your challenges, and embracing your challenges so that you can have, it's really about the communication piece, the communication between you and yourself that also is allowing you to shift obstructions that have been in your energy field, in your energy body, and so that's where this key of Chiron and Aries and unlocking something through this bridge of the 28-degree frequency full moon bridge through March 2022 that's in aspect to Pluto is it's just about saying yes, fully saying yes to yourself. Slowing down could really help, just to slow down, definitely with Pluto and Capricorn advancing, take the space to do the practices that are really nourishing for you. Spend more time in nature, whatever that is for you, more baths, more quiet time. You do need to take the space to listen to yourself and slow down and eat nourishing foods, get the sleep that you need to get. Because it's going to get intense. The world's getting more and more intense, and it's really inviting you on a deeper level. It's like Earth is inviting you to participate fully with your personality. Like, get into your personality too. It's about getting into the spirit and life force of who you are. Play it up, have fun, be theatrical with all this Libra energy. It's inviting you to play. That's the whole point of this, just play. And so, yeah, and also, where you've been saying no to life, say yes to it. Experiment, have fun, lighten up, go into new situations you've never been in before. Venus and Sagittarius for this full moon. Meet people. Venus and Sagittarius, Venus wants to go all, wants to meet all cultures, all people. And it feels, Venus in Sagittarius feels like everyone's my friend, and wanting to go and meet other cultures and other countries and try out new scenes. And so that also means on a local level, like just go check out, meet new people. Got North Node in Gemini, and Venus and Sag really wants to shake things up and have more fun. And it's also in a long sextile to Mars. So absolutely, this is about, shake it up, try new things that might feel a little intimidating and scary, or maybe a little bit too out there, but is it hurting anyone? No, you're just having fun. And because of the Uranus rules Aquarius, and so it is asking you to really step out of your comfort zone and have more fun too. So I'm completing this video. Let me know, share with me how this resonates for you. And I think that's it for now. Stay tuned I will be uploading also some tarot guidance for this full moon on a separate video. And there we go. Ciao for now. Much love.